Hey, 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 what it do, what it do? Steve Pierce, the Doctor of Love, is in the house. And who do I have on the other end? Ha ha! Matt, do you want to introduce yourself? Because I don't know all the teams you played for. I don't know all your accolades. I could have Googled and did it, but we want to hear you. We want to hear you. Go ahead, introduce yourself.
Well, it's your boy Matt Dorsett, and I'm a former Green Bay Packer, Super Bowl champion. Played with the 40 Kansas City Chiefs and also the 49ers. Hall of
Well, I
Famer,
see.
Southern University, um, president of the NFLPA over the state of Louisiana, among many things. A great father. So that's about it. Hi, Linda.
Man, Lin- Linda's in the house. Linda's in the house. Hey, y'all. I'm gonna just tell you. Hey, Matt is just—he's being humble right now, man. Hey, I'm gonna just tell you, man. He's one of the guys I look up to. He's also he's the president of the NFL Players Association, St. Louis, not St. Louis,
No, New Orleans.
Louis,
New Orleans.
New Orleans.
Yeah,
So we
over the
all get
state.
together once a year or twice a year at the Players Convention and the President's Convention, and yeah, this dude, he's the leader. He runs things. And after every, let me see, during every convention, we have a little talent show. Or man, this dude be singing and rapping and making me all
That ain't
look
true.
all
That's
bad.
you. That's
He
you.
make, he make me look bad.
That's you.
So
That's
my
you all
people,
day.
I'm gonna tell you, my people are gonna ask you to sing or do something, or rap or something.
I can't
That's how
sing.
they do. That's all I say.
I
Okay,
will
we
do
have.
is I'll toast them.
There you
I'll
go.
toast you.
There you go. Okay, we have Linda on the line. Go ahead, Linda. Introduce yourself. We can't hear you.
We can't hear you, Linda.
We can't hear you, Linda.
I bet you can hear me now.
There you
I
go.
bet I
All right.
can.
I forgot to turn my mic on. But anyways, Linda Streeter is my name. Love and Relationship Matters is who I am and what I do. Author, therapist, and mediator, coach, all of that good stuff.
There you go. And once again, I am Stephen Pierce. I played with the Cleveland Browns. I am a former president of the NFL Players Association San Diego. And I love music. I love to sing. And we're here. And I am the Doctor of Love. And we want to welcome you guys to the Doctor of Love Friday. So let's get this thing started, Linda. What do you have for us?
Hey, oh, hold on a moment. Just a
Also,
second.
hey, yeah, also, you guys go ahead and get your questions in. We have questions from last week we didn't get to, and we're gonna get around to answering them questions, those
Hopefully, I
questions.
can
But
answer some of those questions.
you can, yeah, we have questions. The thing is, I am people. Y'all bear with me. I am in Hawaii. I'm on vacation, so if you see some people walk by, that's they're in their swim trunks and all that. I would have music playing usually, but I don't have any music to carry with me right now. So when Linda comes back, we're gonna
I am
jump right in.
back. Okay, so
I
we're
want
gonna
to
get
know, can
started.
y'all hear my music?
No.
No,
Okay. Do I need to turn it up a little bit?
every once in a while. But they want to hear your answers. They want to hear what
Okay,
you
well, let's
know,
talk.
they want to hear about love, man, and relationships.
Well,
They
let's
want to
talk
know
about
how,
love then. Come on, let's talk about love.
man, first of all,
Okay. Oh,
have, have you ever been in love?
See, here's the thing. I don't know.
Exactly. That's what
you
you know what?
I don't
That's what
know.
hey, it's
So when I
hard,
think
man.
about love, I think about all of the different types of love: agape, eros, and philos, right?
mm-hmm.
And so when I talk about agape love, that's that godly love. When I talk about the eros love, that's that emotional, that erotic love.
Erotic love.
And then the philos is the brotherly love. So
Mm-hmm.
when you talk about in love, I never read where God said he was in love with anybody. He just said, I love you with all my heart and mind, body and soul. And so I don't think there's an in love. I think there's an in lust. Because
Okay, question. Well, back up one moment. That description you gave to God, can you apply that to you then? Have you ever loved
okay,
anyone with your heart? So okay.
I did. I did.
Okay.
I have.
Was that a yes or a no?
That's a yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
Hey,
Just a
hey,
second.
Matt, do not let her put you on the spot, bruh. Do not let her put. She
You
will
have
She
to
put you on
guess.
the
won't.
spot.
You
I can
have to
handle
answer the
this.
question. If you get a
Okay.
question, yeah.
I can
Okay,
handle this.
good enough. Okay, so are you ready to go with the first question?
Come on, let's go.
Yes.
Okay, first question. What we have here looks like something from last week because I think I remember seeing that. What makes a man think it's a turn on to send a woman he's trying to get his okay
Dick pictures.
A picture of his penis.
his
Yes.
penis? Yeah, I was okay. So I see they used to instead of spelling it out, they just kind of put all the exclamation marks here. Pictures, yeah, his penis pictures or videos of him and or with other females having sex.
Okay, so
What makes a man send a woman pictures like that? Those type of
that's
photos.
that normally happens when there's a mutual conversation that occurs between that man and that woman, and there's a sharing going on. And so,
Okay.
if you get into you dig deep into the details of their conversation or the way they converse with one another, their communication style, you find that he probably was even led to believe that he could do that, or that their conversation didn't go to a standard of trying to be emotionally connected, but physically connected.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
But he can't stop there because women do the same thing, even
Right?
more.
It's
Actually,
not just
even
a
more so.
man thing. It's not
Hmm.
a gender thing. It's a people thing.
Yeah.
So it goes both ways.
Yeah, it goes both ways because I get pictures all the time. You'd be surprised. An old man gets pictures all the time. I play it off and laugh it off, but what it is, what it is. But I mean
Hmm.
that I figure out that's some people's game. That's
Yeah.
part of their game. That's what they do. You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, once they get in a relationship, you may think that may turn a female on, especially if you packing. If you packing, a woman might be like, "Oh," and then she'll pass it
Well,
to her friend, or so, and pass it to the next friend.
and
So
of course we have to be realistic because guess what? A good package will create stimulation and attraction. So, but that attraction will be totally physical. You do understand that the first attraction that occurs is physical. The interaction and the communication creates an emotional an attraction. So the emotional attraction doesn't come until you get to the opportunity where you guys can converse between the two of you.
right,
Yeah.
okay, Matt,
I,
in your top corner, there's a comment button. You can, if you click on that, you can see the comments coming in.
yeah.
So
I have to concur with everything that Matt said on that one. I think that I think those photos that people are sending
I'm
either
drinking a red blend. I'm sorry, I'm drinking a red blend, and it's called Prophecy.
so either prophecy. But anyways, sometimes really cool. But I think that what stood out to me in the question was when getting to know a woman or a person, what makes them think they can do that. And I think somewhere in there, when you're establishing a foundation for a relationship that you're going to pursue with someone, either they feel that they can do that or it's what you like or what have you. But somewhere in there, there's not been enough communication to even discuss, what's really relevant to you. What do you want to get to know about the person first? And then how do you handle the situation if you get those photos? So I think the receiver has everything to do with what they want to get from that person as they continue to move forward in the relationship, if they choose to do so. But again, photos create presentation, stimulation, and desire. And
yeah,
if
They
that's
do.
what,
They
yeah,
do.
and if that's what a person wants, he's letting you know, or she's letting you know what they want from you.
exactly. But you got
Yeah,
to always remember that once you put it out there in the air, it's gonna be out there forever. Every
forever.
time, yeah, forever. Every time I talk to like my daughter or one of my kids' friends, because it's hard to talk to your daughter or your son because they don't want to listen to anything you say. That's number one.
Yeah.
So if I was with Matt, I would bust out my phone and show his daughters, or if he got daughters, I'm like, yeah, you see these pictures my boys send me every day? I get these every day. I bet not see a picture of you on here popping up on my phone. I said, because it's out in the world, and it's our job to let them know that once you're taking these kind of pictures,
They don't go
everybody,
anywhere.
anybody can see it at any time. So you need to protect yourself for your future, because
Always,
if, in the
always.
job, in the job world, people use that. People, the first thing they go to is your Facebook these days, Instagram. They use your social media against you. So you need to watch what you put out in the what in the atmosphere. What do you call it in the social media
Yeah.
world? So
Mm-hmm.
what's up, Tony?
Yep. So,
Hello, world.
okay, next question. Are we okay? Next question is, what's the difference between love and lust?
Oh, there's a huge difference between love and
I
lust.
know we've had that question before, but we got it again. So go with it
Well,
now.
here's the thing. First of all, you do know that love is an action verb, right?
Right.
Love is not a noun. Um, Love requires you to bring certain things or certain aspects of yourself out and reveal that in a certain way that the other person, you're expressing yourself to the other person, and in reciprocal fashion. Um, Lust is simply a I call it a moment. I call it the honeymoon, where you guys are so into each other and you're enjoying the nuances of getting to know each other. And then after that phase wears off, then there has to come the other phase of where you guys are able to communicate. You guys are able to truly get along with one another. You guys are able to sit down and have what we call substance conversations. And there's a huge difference between uh, the physical and the emotional. I
Hmm.
want to know if I always want to know if someone can stimulate me emotionally as opposed to just physically.
Right. Exactly.
Exactly.
Exactly. Which love language are we speaking? You know,
Well,
you got
my love language is physical touch and
that's mine.
uh,
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's mine, baby. That's mine, baby.
my love language is physical touch and um, gift giving.
Right.
So, and when I took the love language test, I was pretty balanced with
All
all
right.
of
That's
Yeah,
that's cool.
it.
That's cool.
that's pretty cool. Yeah, and I would say just to add to the whole love and lust, there's such a steep difference, because lust, there's no emotional or spiritual connection there. It is all physical, and it's usually short-lived.
It is
It
temporary.
happens.
It's
It's
very
it's yeah,
temporary.
very temporary. It's a fling. It's something you have. You get over it sometimes, or maybe a person may go for a while and decide that they remember that last fantasy they had with you, and it may start over again. You may not even hear from the person again until they're ready for that physical connection again. So there's no difference between the two. Whereas love carries so much more with it because something that Matt said too that's very true. And I talk about in my book, The Art of Manifesting Love, is that the love that is fundamental to every relationship you can have, whether it's your intimate relationship, which is eros love, the erotic type of love that we have, or if it's philia when it comes to the brotherly love that we have toward one another, and even toward your family. But fundamental to all love is agape love, because when you can love a person from your heart, from that spiritual place, that's the unconditional love that we all need. And that's why some people can say that they love a person, but not be erotically in love with the person. They don't desire them in that fashion. That's the difference between the two. But then when it comes to you know when we love unconditionally, that means that sometimes when you open your heart to love, it loves people regardless of who they are. Lust, there's no comparison between the two. You may have a hots for someone, And if you look at it from a perspective that when a person, if you think about it, sometimes a person can have hot physical sex, and once that's over with, they turn around and kind of despise the other person. They realize they really don't like them. That's kind of the difference. It happens in that fling. You look at them, now you can't stand the person. You don't want anything to do with them. And oftentimes I think that women find themselves in situations like that because, after the sex is over, they're
After that
waiting.
30 seconds.
Yeah, that 30-second, that's Antonio last week.
Wow.
They're waiting for some cuddling.
You're definitely in trouble if you're doing 30 seconds.
Yeah.
That's all I got. Yay. That's all I
30
got.
seconds? Oh, come on. That's
30
terrible.
seconds,
Right.
I'm gonna
So
call you a couple.
women
I'm gonna call you a couple hours before I start. You got to start early.
so women are
Jeez.
looking, yeah, they
Mhm.
tend to look for more than that. But
Right.
anyways, so lust is, looking at someone, you don't know them, but you're desiring them sexually.
Right.
Well,
Right.
like I said in the beginning, the first attraction is always physical. And then you take the steps to move beyond that or stay with that. I
Yeah.
mean, it can go either way.
Right.
Okay. One
It's
one of
all,
the
it's
things.
all a personal choice.
Well, I mean, yeah, I tell you what, when you think of lust, think of a animal when they're in heat.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. I'm a tiger for 30 seconds.
Ah,
You know, all it matters in that
hey, right now
moment.
I ain't doing nothing for 30 seconds, but
You,
change the channels.
that's all I'm saying. If you want to hear lust, think of an animal in heat, and specifically, I would use the dogs, for instance. When a dog is in heat, you can fan them off, beat them off, whatever. They're not going to stop until they can
They
get
ain't gonna
next to
stop.
one, right? And you see how they behave, and then once it's over with, it's over with. They're going
It's
about their
over.
business.
Right. Exactly. Okay. Peggy. Hey, what's up, Peggy? Peggy says, "Love is from the heart, and lust is from the head, the bottom head." And then Lisa says, "Matt, I totally agree. If I can't laugh with you, I can't make love to you." And
I like
then,
that, Lisa. I
yeah,
like that.
yeah,
There's a thing about being stimulated emotionally. Um, I think that's the greatest attraction that you can have. I mean, because it makes the physical so much better when you're emotionally connected.
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. So, and just a little rush through the list that I have here. Some faces of lust that you may see in a person. They're enraptured by the physical appearance only. You look fine, or you look handsome. You're this, whatever. But that's what they are. They're enraptured by what they see, and that's what they want. And then phase two, passionate fantasies with a stranger. It doesn't matter if they know you or not. You see a person, that's lusting after a person. You see them, you want them, you got to have them. And then the lack of interest in the person's life. There's no interest in anything else about your life, who you are, what you do, what you want, what you're expecting, what your goals, the relationship goals are. None of that. They don't care about your personal life. It's about one thing. What do I get from this? And then I talked about lack of intimacy after sex. There is no intimacy. It's all physical. When it's
Right.
over, it's over.
No
And
cuddling, nothing.
no cuddling, none of that.
Do
And
not pass go. Do not collect two hundred
yeah,
Well,
dollars.
intimacy is huge. I think a lot of people overlook intimacy.
there is no
And
intimacy with lust,
and
though.
but
Yeah,
but we can't, intimacy is such a phenomenal thing if you actually engage in it. You take the time to, work through that, and you guys kind of connect on that level. Intimacy can be a really phenomenal thing.
well, it can be, not to doubt
Yeah.
that it can, because it really can. But does fantasy or lust last long enough to get intimate?
It
Because the
doesn't.
other thing,
It doesn't.
exactly.
It
Because
doesn't.
yeah, intimacy is something that's developed, through the look in a person's eyes. People who, when you're in lust, you're not trying to see who's behind the eyes, look into their soul. You don't care about that.
You
And
don't.
intimacy, once you start to connect at that level, communication. People who are less than have no good communication. It's about the physical only. Past that point, there's no deep conversation. Intimacy is built through communication, through bearing our nakedness, our soul before a person,
Right.
you know, along with all the physical things with the cuddling and so forth.
Hey, we got to get to some comments over here.
So
Okay.
Linda,
I'm trying to keep up. Okay, Timothy said, love is a decision, not a feeling. And Tony says it's a booty call.
Yeah, well, that was one of my faces I talked about, the nighttime lover. You know, we come along, we get that, we hit it up, and we leave.
Exactly.
hit it and quit it. Is that
Hit
what
it
we're
and
Hit it
talking
quit
and
it.
quit it.
Hit it and quit
about?
it.
Quit it?
Yes.
Oh my
Hit it
God.
and quit it. And then Ebony says, lust is where it starts with hopes that will be lead to love. So she's hoping when you start early, you know, it's you hoping it turns to love. And a lot of people get into that. That's what we talked about earlier about taking your time, you know, getting to know
Mhm.
somebody. We talked
Well,
about that on another show.
here's the thing. But here's the thing about lust. Now, when you get two people that are mature, okay, and I said mature. Notice I said that.
Right.
Okay.
Two people that are mature, they can get beyond lust. They can get beyond lust um, through a development of but there has to be a communication. There
Yeah.
has to be a communication. Um, there has to be, whether it's intellectual or on another level, but it has to be some maturity there in order to get beyond lust. I don't think you can get beyond lust just through the basic interacting. There has to be something else there to say, to have a conversation, to be able to say, hey, you know, I like where we are right now. What about moving to another step? But there has to be a communication. Like the communication style has to be on a mature level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I've seen oftentimes that, getting back to that same scenario, when there's chemistry between two people, and that's the magic right there. You meet someone,
There
there's the
is.
chemistry, there's the attraction, the physical attraction, and people rush into a relationship. But if you only knew sometimes how those relationships are so short lived, even to the point where within 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or a month later, these folk have moved in together because it was such a magical experience, and but it's short lived because they didn't get to know who they were. And so back to your comment, Matt, that yes, if the maturity is there, but what people oftentimes discover, the only thing they have in common is the magic of sex.
Right.
And it doesn't last.
And do you think that's enough though? Yeah, because
Well, of
sometimes
course,
sometimes
it's
that's
It's
never
enough
will it be enough.
yeah,
in
was
that
that
There's
enough?
too
moment.
many
It is.
things. There's too many things that come along with forming a relationship, and definitely the communication, the romance, and the finance. And so when you have to sit down and discuss those things, you have to discuss those things with maturity, because what if you make less than her, or she is not on a level where you are? So how do you
But what
guys come together to work together in order to figure that out?
Yeah.
There has to be some serious communication going on in order to get on the same page.
but
Yeah.
was that wasn't the question though. It was lust. It was the
No, it was
difference
it was what's the
because
difference between
for
love
me,
love
for
and
see, because you can have a relationship of just having sex, but that usually happens when people mature and older. Older. I know a lot of older women that's like, I don't want to get married. I don't want to be with no man, but I'll get with one, and that's it. That's all I want.
Well, there
Some
are
just
women
want to
who
be by
say,
themselves.
what about the women who say, guess what? I just want a guy to be my friend. I just want to travel with him. I just want to, this is the guy that I choose to do things with, but I don't want anything more than that. Is that okay?
well, I think it's okay for people to do whatever they choose to do. That's what I think. But I think that
Okay.
two people have to
Personal
be,
decision.
yes, a personal
It's
decision. And I
personal
think
decision.
that the person that you're interacting with, you two need to be honest with each other and say what it is that you're
Key
after in the
word,
that's kind of it. I need to read something because
honesty.
I see what was that?
Yeah. Hey, you got to
Honesty. That's a
Honesty.
key word.
I mean,
Honesty.
yes, key word. You just have to be honest about where you are, and you may find that you're
Excuse me
both
one
looking for
second.
relationship goals are the same. But
Yeah.
Michael Singletary, Michael said, Miss Streeter, I will disagree with you on that because I have lusted for someone and had intimate conversations and some love making that actually led to some good friendships for me. Well, I mean,
Exactly.
if you want to go from sex to friendship, lust works for that, but it's still not saying it's the same as love. So while I'm not sure what portion you disagree with Michael, however, I will say you're right. It can go to friendship because what you discovered that after the love making, you liked each other, but not enough, obviously, to be more than friends.
Yeah. I mean, it's the
Yeah.
chemistry. It's the chemistry between the
So,
two
and
two of
maybe
you. And
and
Mike is a very likable person. So anybody that gets with Mike just have sex for one night or so,
yeah,
they're gonna end up liking him because he has that personality that women will fall in love with.
yeah.
So yeah, even though he still beat up on me when we were
Well,
younger. So
Stephen, you got a very likable personality as well. You're a very
yeah,
likable guy.
Yeah.
not as much as you though.
Thought.
They love you. They like me. They like me. They always look at me like that could be my little brother or that could be my big brother. They look at you like, ooh, I want to
Hey, they
jump
put
his
you in the
phone.
friend zone.
Man, they put me in the friend zone
Hey,
immediately.
but see,
Yeah.
that's something that you're doing wrong when they keep putting you in the friend zone.
Because
That's just me.
well, I think I put myself in the friend zone
Oh,
because
okay.
I put myself in because I'm happily married. I let them know that so I'm automatically going into the friend
Well,
zone.
you better stay in the friend zone.
Exactly. That's all I can do. Hello, Natasha.
Okay.
There's
So
people agreeing with Ebony said definitely agree with you, Matt. And lust is the desire of the eye. That's a Natasha. She's a
yeah.
very spiritual woman. Let's move on
Well,
to some more comments.
Okay. So what we have next is what won't oh, this is a good one here. What makes one woman stand out more than another woman in your personal view? In your view, what makes
wow.
one woman stand out more than another woman? That's a good
So,
question.
it has. It's. I think it's one thing. It's. No, I ain't gonna say it's one thing. It's several things: character, personality,
Okay.
uh, and behaviorisms. Okay,
Okay.
character is what you do when nobody's looking. Okay, and so um, you got to understand how men operate. And I don't want to lose my man card by saying this.
Hey,
Okay,
go ahead.
Oh,
Hey, this is
go
but
what
on and
this
say
show
it,
is
Nick.
for.
Go on and say
no,
This is what
it.
this is
no.
right here is what this show is for.
So
Go on and tell
what
us. Tell
happens
us,
is
Matt,
here
what it is.
when a man will marry you, you're on a different level because there are a lot of people that there are a lot of females that a man will deal with, but he won't marry. Okay, and so
Hmm.
that's not a knock on anybody, but that's just a reality.
Yeah.
Okay, and so men who a man chooses to marry, you might be like, why did he choose her? But she'll have certain things. She'll have that personality, she'll have character, and her behaviorisms, meaning that he's
Hmm.
able to get along with her, he's able to coexist with her within the home. So all of those things are very important, and that's how
Yeah,
men choose. I want to marry this woman, and of
yeah.
course, and of course, sex is a part of that. Now we can't just eliminate sex.
Hmm.
We can't just be so blind to reality that we just eliminate the sexual attraction and the sexual connection.
So do you put them through the test first, the sex test first to see if they any good, or what do
Listen,
you
I
do?
don't test anyone, okay? Let me say that. I don't test
Oh,
anyone, okay?
okay, okay,
All right. Now,
okay.
I've dealt with people before, and listen, and it hasn't worked or it has worked, whatever has occurred, but whatever it was, I always try to leave on a good note with everybody.
Right, right. I got you.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Stephen, what's your comment on that? Your guy. I like that though. Matt, that was good. Because I think that women, sometimes they get ahead of themselves, but those things are important for women too. And in relationship, you do hear sometimes like, wow, how did he get her or how did she get him? But it's deeper than the physicals, because we all know that physical attraction is just one portion of a relationship remaining together. You can't live off a beautiful body only.
No,
well,
you
I'm gonna
can't.
tell you, let me tell you what I learned about that trophy. That
Mm-hmm.
trophy, that trophy, when you first get it, you want
Uh-huh.
everybody to know about it.
Oh, okay.
After a short period of time, that trophy goes on a shelf and starts to collect dust.
Mm,
So that trophy loses interest.
there we go.
Loses interest.
Interest.
It
Okay.
doesn't gain, it loses.
Sort of
And
like
only
depreciating as opposed to appreciating. Is
it,
that
oh, it depreciates. It
okay?
depreciates. And so
Right.
and so if you're a woman and that's your moniker for how you get a man, you want to be the trophy wife. Yeah, well, I can tell you that won't last long. I won't comment on the other side. I'll just say that it won't last long.
Okay. Makes sense.
It won't
Yep.
last
Yep.
long.
All right, ladies, you hear that, right?
There's no
Yeah.
longevity.
You have
There's no
in other words,
longevity in being a trophy wife.
no, it isn't. And I think in all relationships, I've heard my sons say the same thing, who are younger than all of us, of course, that they love a beautiful body, but that's not enough. A woman has to bring more than that to the table.
Much more. Much more.
Much more than that. Yeah.
And going back to my answer on there, on the last question is you don't choose who you fall in love with. It just happens. You know what? Because there's times you have in your mind that this is what I want. I want the one with the nice body, ooh, them nice legs, oh, them nice lips, some nice hair. But then some kind of chemistry or something breaks off when you see this woman with her swag. It's like, ooh, this is who I'm in love with. You know what I'm saying? I used to love the dark skinned women. That's what I love. I just wanted a dark skinned woman so bad. But then I married a light skinned woman, and I'm like, it just happens. It just happens. You don't choose who you fall in love with. It just doesn't.
What about the evolution of, because a lot of people have preference, okay? I live in New Orleans, okay? We got red bone women here. Red bone women run New Orleans, okay?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of guys come down here and they find a woman here and they never leave. But
Because they all put
you have,
boots on them.
you have to be able to evolve into understanding that a good package doesn't just come one way.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I get a lot of packages, UPS, USPS, FedEx.
Amazon.
They're all good packages, but they don't all look the same.
Correct.
I'm just gonna throw that out there.
They ain't
So
from the same hood.
but you have to evolve from what I've had a preference for throughout my lifetime to understanding that this is what's best for me.
Exactly. Exactly. I have to read a comment that I see here.
Yeah, that's great. Get some of them
Michael,
because
I
Mike
mean,
Mike will yell at you if you don't answer some of his comments,
no, let
boy.
me say, okay, so let me just read one comment that says, Matt got juicy lip a woman can lust for.
Hold up. Say that again.
Look what
Is
he
that
just opened
Natasha?
it to. Someone
Hi,
said,
Natasha.
Matt got juicy lip and a woman can lust for. That
Hey,
Matt has
people,
juicy lips that a woman can lust for.
that better not be my woman talking about Matt's lips. Where's she at? Where's she at? Where's she
It's
at?
gonna be Steven's woman.
It was actually Natasha. She said he got some juicy lips a woman can lust for. I just want you to know that, Matt.
Okay.
Let's see here. What else we have? Speak about it. That's like, oh, Michael Young said it's like buying a new car. I think that was based on something you said, Matt. But You got to pick someone that's good for your spirit. See, all of those things. There are so many attributes to choosing a mate, because I have seen so many reasons people don't love each other anymore. You know, they start out really wonderful, all of this great attraction, this, sex that was magic in it. And somewhere down the line, not long down the line, you start to realize they really don't want each other. And then something you said, Matt, about the evolution of who we are, because we're all constantly evolving. And so when people are not evolving, this is when one gets ahead of the other in growth, and what we like changes. Our values, we start to better understand our values and goals, and we're able to clarify those things and realize that a lot of times you're in a relationship with someone who's not evolving with you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the worst situation to be in.
That is the worst.
What you can do is outgrow your mate. You guys should grow together.
You grow together.
And once you outgrow your mate, that relationship is over.
That's a problem, isn't it?
Is that the same as growing apart?
Listen, I guess you could call it that kind of that. Yes. That would be that on that level.
Nicole says Matt is getting prophecy red wine deep. They saying you getting red wine deep, baby.
No, Matt is getting prophecy tipsy.
Yeah.
Okay. It's 9:30 in New Orleans. I don't know what time it is in San Diego, but it's 9:30
I'm in Hawaii. I'm in Hawaii, so it is 7:36 here. I'm in Hawaii enjoying it.
Linda, where are you?
I'm in Atlanta, so it's 10:30 my time. 10:30.
Okay.
All right, ATL.
Well, I mean, hey, Don says got to pick someone that is good for your spirit. All right, I had to get her in there.
Okay.
Here we go.
Okay, so men, at what point?
You, Pam said I had a nice smile. I said thank you.
All right. Oh my goodness. Go ahead on, Matt. You're just
wait. Let me cut you off. Let me cut you off. Hey, Pam is one of the reasons I'm doing this show. Hey, she works with us in the NFL Players Choir.
Really?
So, yeah, Pam. Matt gets down. The dude can sing and rap. So
Steve cannot sing. He's
still
like at every leadership conference.
Pam, talk Matt into coming and singing in the Players Choir. You got to get him.
I don't go anywhere for less than 2,500. I'm telling you now.
You go. So there you go. You got to pay Matt. He's a Hall of Famer, Super Bowl winner. Come on, man. So you got to give him his respect. So
Pam, let's talk feet.
There you go. There we go.
Compensation. Can we talk
compensation? Right. Hey, Stephanie, what's up?
So are we ready for the next one?
Go ahead, Linda. I'm ready.
Okay, man, at what point is a woman working too hard to get your attention?
When she starts throwing out butt naked pictures and sending you and texting you and all that.
Oh, well, okay.
I think you're working too hard.
Well,
that turns me. I don't know, man. I'm let Matt do the talking.
Well, I'm not gonna say that because I can appreciate a woman who knows what she wants.
Okay.
A lot of men can't. A lot of men are become intimidated by a woman who knows what she wants. And so women have to be careful about the men that they choose, because some men are not emotionally or maturely ready to handle a woman of their level. And so I always encourage women to be careful about who they choose to go after or date, because some guys may not be what we would call equally yoked with you. And I understand that the package looks good, but I think that, sometimes there needs to be some self-evaluation in the decision-making of the choosing of men.
Okay. I was reading comments, so I think I got.
Yeah, that's what I was. That was me. Nicole says, I believe she says she's old school. I believe a woman should be pursued.
Well, I tell you, I'll put it this way as a woman. And this is what I see too much of, too much of. I've seen it in court hundreds of times. Women tend to do the most. Stop doing too much. Because what happens in those situations, like you're looking for a man to say, when is enough? When are you doing too much? Well, in most cases, he's not going to tell you that. If you want to do it, whatever it is, have at it, right, Matt? Go,
Well,
Stephen.
Well, Matt, it sounds like Matt is opposite. Sounds
But
like Matt is opposite.
okay, but in many cases, I mean, unless he's a real gentleman, a real man, and he doesn't believe in, a woman doing the most, women will do that, not only getting attention, but just to, if there's a date, you arranging everything, you never allow him to do it. And so what happens later in the relationships, a woman realizes now you're ready for him to do more and he doesn't. And I think sometimes it's back to just relaxing a moment to see if the guy's even interested in you. You shouldn't be, I don't know.
Linda, here's what I've learned. Okay.
Okay.
How you start is how you're going to have to finish.
Exactly.
And so if you don't start with the end in mind, okay, then there's going to be some missteps. There's going to be some obstacles. But part of that starts with the decision making in the beginning, who you're choosing as a mate. And this is not a woman, this is not a gender thing. This is man and woman. So this is a people thing when you're making decisions about a mate, that you're saying, hey, I want to give you my time, because I realize that everybody's time is very valuable, and time is the only thing of essence. So we don't get that back. Okay. Right. So you don't want to be caught in a situation where you're wasting your time. And so I think that the decision making in the beginning can help you or prevent you from wasting your time.
True. But then going back to that question, at what point does a man feel a woman, let me read it again. At what point is a woman working too hard to get your attention?
Well, I think it works. I say again, it works both ways. It's not a gender thing. I think that when you understand and you know what you want, I think you should go after it. Okay. And I think you should pursue it 100%. But I think that you should also understand that, okay, I like this package. Is this package what I really want?
Okay.
Because there are difference between wants and needs. I've heard somebody say, we buy everything we want, but we beg for what we need.
Pam says, preach your trial sermon, Matt. Write that book she said, write that book to the sisters. But then Michael comes back and says, you starting to sound like Billy D. Williams. Knock it off.
Hey, Mike, that's not what I'm trying to do.
No,
that's not what I'm trying to do.
Hey, I told you, Matt is a slick one. Ladies, he's trying to get to y'all, bro. He's trying to get to
Matt is not slick. Matt is educated. That's a difference.
There you
go. I think what Matt is saying makes a lot of sense. And I totally agree. I say it all the time. You don't go into a relationship or trying to get a person's attention, because again, the same thing it takes to get my love is going to take the same thing to keep it. And not only that, it's not, and it's not always love. Like if you're going to bait people to be in your life, you out there being extra, you're trying to do the most to get someone's attention. Well, first of all, what I've seen too, you can do all of that work, and if there's not an equal interest, the man may not even be interested in you, and you're over there, waving flags, jumping up and down, playing hopscotch and all the other stuff just to get his attention. And when you get his attention, then of course, as I say, women will start out doing the most. Some stories I've heard, you meet a person and he can say, I need a phone, for instance. I know something that petty and small, right? But it happens. And she goes, oh, I'll buy you one. Oh, you need to slow down enough. I think a woman needs to slow down enough, and it does, Matt. It goes both ways, but I think women, for their own emotional well-being and what I've seen them go through, because you have so many emotionally broken women where they thought a relationship was one thing or the guy had one intent, and they do all of these extras and realize the guy's like, I like you, but you're not really, and here's comes that letdown, and sometimes they don't even get an explanation behind it. So I just say slow down. You have to be your own judge of when you're doing too much, when you're being
Linda, can
extra.
I add something to that?
Sure.
Because I had a very close friend, okay?
Okay.
And she came and talked to me, right? And she was talking about, I got this guy, he's gonna pay my cell phone bill. And so I think everything is a mentality, okay? And so I remember telling her, don't sleep with him for your cell phone bill.
Oh,
Sleep with him
no.
for the cell phone. Don't sleep with him for the car note. Sleep with him for the
Exactly.
car. Don't sleep
Exactly.
with him for the mortgage payment. Sleep with him for the house. And so
Exactly.
Exactly.
what I was trying to
Exactly.
get her to understand was change your mentality
Exactly.
because you're
Exactly.
thinking too small. And the word tells us, as a man thinketh,
Thank you. It is
all
hard.
right,
So is he.
so is he, right? All
Yep.
right. All right. And
Yes.
so
Yes.
what
Very
happens
true.
is this here. When you come to a man thinking small, or a man goes to a woman thinking small, that's how they view you. So you
Small.
have to be very careful in your approach because approach is everything.
Everything. Approach has everything to do with outcome.
No,
Preach. Matt is preaching
put my
now,
hands
bro.
up. Touchdown.
Matt is preaching. Hey, but you
Touchdown,
Has
see,
Linda.
everything to do has
Touchdown.
everything to do
hey,
with outcome.
hey, hey,
Everything.
hey, that wine got him going. That wine got him going. But my
This ain't the
question to you,
wine.
Matt.
This
Hey,
ain't the wine.
I know. He like y'all. He's like this all the time. He is like
Listen,
this all the time. I'm telling you, he think he's the doctor of love. He think he's the
I
real
am
doctor of
the
love.
doctor of love.
All right.
What are my
I'll bow.
Ladies.
initials?
I'll bow
MD.
down.
My
I'll bow
initials are
down.
MD.
I'll bow down. I'll bow down. Okay, but my question to you, Matt, what is too far? What is too much for a woman to come at after you with? When do you say, "Dang, she's doing too much"? When do you say that?
Well, when a woman stops being classy, when a woman stops being classy, okay, she's crossed the line. Because I think a woman should always remain classy when she's approaching a man. Because I think that a woman can approach a man but still maintain classiness, still maintain uh, her level of womanness. So I think that when you stop being classy, I think you've gone too far.
Right. Exactly.
Because at the end of the day, a man loves a well balanced woman. I think they like a woman who they can handle, they can walk with in the streets, but be a freak in the sheets. And I know that's a cliche, and people say that all the time, but that's such a reality. Like men love balance. Like they love that woman that they can have that conversation with. She'll go out and go to that great job. She speaks well, and then at the drop of a dime, she'll defend you and get, hey, back up off of my man.
Exactly.
Right.
Won't
And
embarrass you.
then come home and swing on the ceiling fan. So I think that there's a balance there. And there's
Yes.
nothing wrong with getting on a ceiling fan. Women try
It
it,
ain't.
but
It
make
ain't.
sure you screw it in now when you get those longer screws into the 2x4s. You want to get the 2-inch screws, depending on your weight balance.
Exactly.
Okay, don't
Exactly.
just get on the ceiling
Okay.
fan and be
Place
trying
put it
things. All
there,
right,
huh?
That
there's
is
a
off the
weight balance
chain.
that goes with that.
Yeah. They got big poles. They got big poles.
So, I'm going to read a couple of comments here because I think they're really interesting.
They are.
Okay, let me see. Where do we leave off at? I think I'm going to start with Michael. When she can't pick up the pace by which I am moving, if I'm leisurely walking and you're fast walking, then she not considering me about her slow down. Oh, okay. He's saying when she's picking up the pace faster than him, that she needs to slow down. Okay, okay, got that, Michael. And then
I might.
Steve and Linda, we should do the Doctor of Love live at the Super Bowl in LA.
Oh,
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 that's
we
what Pam
talked
said.
about that. We
Oh,
talked
Y'all
about that.
really?
We're
need the
gonna get
real
that. I'm gonna get a
doctor of
panel.
love.
Pam, I got the panel. Hey, well, my job, first of all, my job is to run it. Linda's job is to narrate it, and my job is to get the players in, to get the NFL players, or just any celebrities in. And I'm gonna promise you, I'm gonna have every celebrities in.
Hey,
So at
Steve,
Super
you know
Bowl,
I'm there, man. You just called
oh,
me.
exactly, exactly. So we're gonna have a board. We're gonna have a board of guys answering all of your questions because it's mostly ladies have these questions. So we'll answer all your questions. We'll get that
Pastor
together.
said Matt won the
Pam, work
Super
on that.
Bowl.
Okay, so Renee just asked a question. She says, what if a younger man, like 22 years younger, is trying too hard, maybe to be my best friend, says to give it to, I don't know. Let me see if I can read this again. Maybe what if a younger man, 22, like 22 years
22
younger, is
years younger is
trying
trying too hard to be my best friend. I don't know that.
and says to give it a try, but it's weird for me.
Oh, okay,
Linda,
I
help.
understand that. Hey, yeah. She's saying, yeah, should she give it a
If it,
try? It's a younger man that's 22 years younger than her. Should she give it a try because he's trying to holler at her, and
I don't
she
no,
see a
she, she says it
connection.
feels
I don't.
weird.
I,
I'm gonna put it this way. You know, every decade you got a whole generation of changes going on.
You say yes?
And then what may be this whole fantasy thing in that moment of wonderment, especially for someone much younger than you with the older woman, you have to keep that in mind. What
Yeah.
happens when his fantasy has been met or he's had that experience? So for me, it's a no.
But there's a lot of men that love old, a lot of young men that love older women. That's
I do
just what
too,
I
because
told.
I
of the
don't
moment,
see.
because of
I
what
don't see a
because of what
connection.
she brings
I
to the
have
table.
godchildren. Listen, I
Mm-mm.
have godchildren who are
Me
25,
too.
and I don't have a connection. The things that we
Okay.
listen. My godchildren just graduated with their masters. They don't even know my real name. My name is I need.
Okay.
Paran. I
Papa,
I
need.
I
need.
need.
I need rent money. I need to pay my light bill. I need. That's my name. I need. So
Hmm.
there's no real connection there other than sort of like that fatherly daughter sort of connection. But
Exactly.
and so I always ask, is this something that you're just experimenting with? Or,
Exactly.
or is this something that you truly are going to put time into? Because there's going to be no connection. I don't care who you are. You cannot relate to a 22-year-old. I don't care who you are. You can't relate.
Yeah.
It's
So
just
anyone,
it's just different levels there. You can't relate. And
total.
so you can play the game if you want and try to create the facade that, oh, I can make, you can't make it work. It
Mm-mm.
doesn't work.
No, I don't see it. I mean,
Matt,
you're talking more than 2 decades on a person. I mean, do you realize when you have 2 decades of experience over another individual, the power and where how much advanced you are than an individual 2 decades younger than you? And I'm with you. Where's the connection there other than laughing and talking for a minute? That's about it. But no,
You gonna be
I don't
playing
see that.
PlayStation? No.
I'm in Hawaii,
Steve,
baby. I'm in Hawaii.
Steve,
I hear you.
hey,
I
to
hear you.
you,
I hear
baby.
you. I
To
hear
you,
you. Hey,
Steve.
hey,
Steve, to
Lisa.
you.
I got
To
you. I
you.
got you. There you go, baby. Hey, Lisa said, stop licking your lips. She's trying to pay attention.
Oh
She's
my
trying to stay
goodness.
focused.
Lisa, I
She said you
apologize.
keep licking your lips. Boy, they after you. I'm getting inbox right now. I'm talking about not on here. You can't see it. It's like, who is
Oh
Matt?
my
I mean,
goodness.
who is Matt? Who is Matt? What's up with Matt? Hey, Lisa. What's up?
So oh,
Lisa's all the way in Mexico. What's up,
oh,
Lisa
hi
Lisa? I
says
Lisa.
see you.
aloha. Aloha.
Aloha.
She's
Okay.
talking to the
So
doctor of love. Aloha.
You talking to the real? He said you talking to the real doctor of love.
Oh, Stephen, did you hear someone said, I can't remember now where the comment was up further that indicated somebody said, Stephen, you're going to get fired from your show tonight. So I don't know what they're trying to say. I don't know who
That's
said
my.
it, but someone said you're
That,
going to get
hey,
fired, and you're going to get fired on the set on
let
top
me
of
tell
it.
you something. Let me tell you something. That's my cousin. That's one of my favorite cousins. She's
That's who
saying
said
that
it.
because they inboxing me and saying how fine Matt is. So they trying
Oh,
to fire me so
Tell
they
him I
can see
said
Matt
thank
all
you.
the time.
Tell him I said thank
They
you.
trying to
Listen,
fire me so they can see
thank
Matt.
you.
yeah, they want to fire you. Ain't
I
that
work
something?
hard.
Wow.
This,
Huh?
I
Matt,
work hard.
my wife
My
said,
birthday
"Who's
is
Matt?"
August
Matt
23rd. August
Matt is a
23rd
Hall of
is my
Famer.
birthday.
Matt is a
okay.
Hall of Famer. He got a Super Bowl ring. Hey, they just trying to get some of your money, man. I'm finer than you. They
Well,
just know you
I
rich.
don't know. Matt is telling them when his birthday is. He just told him his birthday is
August
August
23rd.
23rd.
I'll celebrate all month long.
Okay.
August 23rd is my birthday.
Okay. So let's see. I have another one here saying, what was that? Okay. A question for me from Michael. He said, I heard women cuss out a man and call him a bitch.
Oh my
Miss
God. That's so unattractive.
Wait a minute.
That's so
I know.
unattractive
Miss
of a
Rita,
woman.
how
Where
does
you
a
see that
man
question at?
handle that response from women when she disrespects him like that in regards to being classy? That's
Oh,
not
I got
classy.
this
That's
one. I
classy at
got
Go
all.
this
ahead.
one.
Go on,
First
Matt.
of
Go on.
all, that is so unattractive for a woman to speak to a man that way.
Yeah.
Um, when she's feeling like she's on a high horse, she's really making herself look bad. She makes herself look terrible. Because you should never talk to someone that you care about. Because the first thing that you learn in a relationship is that you always remember we care about each other. So there's no hitting below the belt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so we can't do that, and so that's totally unattractive. Um, he should immediately disassociate himself with him. And I got an old saying: I got a whole gallon of let long. You know what let long? I got a whole
No.
gallon of let long. And listen,
What
I
is
even
it?
make them in pints. Pints. Let me see. Can y'all see that? Pints. I got pints, quarts, and gallons of let long. And so I have a measure of how much you should not deal with them after you tell them, I'm finna let you alone. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, men and women need to start dishing out gallons and pints and quarts of let alone.
Yep.
I think they should, hey, I got some let alone for you. You need some time alone. Here you go.
Yep. We need to learn to see the light. You know, we need to learn that. You open your eyes and see. It's not for you.
Nowhere
You
in the
need to know
world
how to walk.
someone should talk to anyone like that. No
Yeah.
way. No
Totally
way.
agree.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's totally immature, it's totally irresponsible, and it's totally careless to speak to
Yeah.
someone that way.
I
It-
mean,
It's
I,
not
I,
only
I can't condone that.
and it's
the
not.
hallmark of a relationship is respect.
Yeah. It's
And
not only
It's
anytime
the
you're
very
down
foundation
to
of it, Linda.
foundation hallmark of it. If there's no respect, you have absolutely nothing. There
right.
has to be respect. So
Yeah.
that's a no. And how do you deal with it? It's very clear.
Walk
We don't
away.
it's very clear we don't have those conversations, and that's where we cut off at. So we respect those boundaries, and if that's more than you can give, then you know what, we can't connect.
Yeah. I
You
feel
just
it's
you can't.
disrespectful for her saying that, and I
Yeah.
feel she should be the one walking away before she gets a chance to say it. If she has to say it, then she's been there too long. She should have left a long time ago. If
But
she
but
has to speak,
Steve, but Steve, how do you allow somebody that's total control? How do you allow somebody to get you to that point?
that's what I'm
Exactly.
saying.
Do you understand that
She
they're
should have left
controlling
before.
you? That's
What?
that's
What?
that's control
Right.
at its finest. I
Okay.
was at
So
a
it's
concert. I was at a concert this weekend in Birmingham. I saw Najee, I saw Glenn Jones, Will Downing, and
oh
Peebo Bryce.
wow. Oh wow.
That's a concert right there.
All of my favorite. That's a
All of
concert.
yep.
Yes.
That's a nice
Listen to
concert
me.
right there.
You ain't never been to a grown-up concert. Remember, these guys know how to entertain.
Yes.
Right.
Glenn
Yeah.
Jones,
Exactly.
love has a mind of its own. That's what you
Now
see.
Pam,
stop it,
Pam,
man.
see?
Stop that.
Pam, see?
That's for you,
He
Steve.
needs to be in the choir, Pam.
No,
Come
no, no,
on.
no, no. I never was in the choir. Listen, I was in the choir when I was in high school. My high school football coach made me get in the choir. We had a teacher named Miss Francis, and I didn't like Miss Francis because Miss Francis used to be real tough on us. But coach made all of the football players get in her class. So she told me I had to sing. I sung the worst that I could possibly sing. She don't. You know what she told me?
What?
Kidding.
Get out. She said, "Get out."
Oh my goodness. Oh my
Oh my
goodness.
goodness.
That's
So look,
funny.
because of our time, and this
What
question
time?
was sent, it's
We
it's
got
11.
we
But
got
I
a
have
Hall
a
of
question.
Famer on. Hey, we got a Hall of Famer online. I'm
Okay,
just
so but
saying.
I was sent a question though that I feel since we got it before we started that we should answer it
Okay.
before we end it, if you're okay with that.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so the question was, well, this is the situation. Situation is while in a conversation about having children, the girl says, I am looking for love, not just someone to have sex with. She then asks him, aren't you looking for love? He says, I think love is a decision. Attraction is what's voluntary. How should she respond? They do not live in the same state. He wants to have kids with her and wants her to move to his state to raise their child. She is, and I didn't get the rest of that, Steve, and I only got half of it. So, but that's a mouthful right there.
That's a mouthful. Let me go find that. I gotta find it on
Yeah.
my
Listen,
phone. Y'all
that's
can
a
start
tough
off
one
on that.
right there because
Yes.
I definitely need more details
Mm-hmm.
on that particular situation.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think a woman should move with a man if there's not some stability there or there's not some serious commitment. Excuse me, some serious commitment. I think on
True.
either side, from the man or the woman. Um,
Mm-hmm.
if you don't have a true commitment, why would I pick up and leave my life and go think, hoping and wishing that I'm going to get something from you that you haven't presented to me initially? Um,
Exactly.
listen, I got a good friend of mine, very close friend. Okay, she lived in Atlanta, where you live, Linda.
Okay.
She was dating this guy from Houston, and so she called me and she said, Matt, I'm moving to Houston. My guy's there, blah blah blah. And I said to her, I said, I don't think you should do it because him coming to see you every 2 weeks will be very different with him seeing you every day. Okay, because he never truly made a commitment. He was only committed to every other weekend. He
Mm-hmm.
was he had never committed to every day.
Yeah.
So she moved to Houston and she got her own place and they dated. They broke up in 3 months. Three
Exactly.
months because it
Yeah.
was different with her living there every day. He wasn't
Mhm.
ready for that. He was used to living on his own, as was she. And so everybody have to make adjustments and people don't understand. It's mental adjustments that have to be made when you
Mhm.
enter into an agreement with someone and you're going to live in their space. It's mental adjustments. So just
Right.
keep that in mind. So if there's no true commitment, don't uproot yourself because there's disappointment waiting in the back end.
Yeah. Totally agree. And the other thing I will add to that, just in answering the question, here's a conversation that the girl asked. You're asking someone, do you believe in love, or you're looking for love with, and not just someone to have sex with? And you ask this potential suitor if he believes in love. He doesn't answer the question.
But she
He
should
says,
know that.
And he says, I believe love is a decision. So it goes back to, again, if you have to ask someone that they love you, chances are they don't.
They don't.
So,
Exactly.
Linda, that's hurtful.
I know
For real, for real.
Linda,
it
that's
is
hurtful.
Love is shown.
it is
Linda,
what
you
it
gotta
is.
let me down easy.
Love is shown.
Let me down easy, Linda, please.
You know what I'm saying? If I have to ask you if you love me, because you know what, love speaks for itself. There's going to be what you say, what you do, the care, the attention. Love making is at a whole different level than just this whole little lust thing. I mean, everything about the person is different. They do care about your concern. They will, woman, ladies, if a man has not demonstrated his love for you, why on earth? No love, no commitment. Why on earth would you even consider a child? Number one, you talking babies, but the guy can't even say I love you. And then
Linda, can I
secondly,
add something to
you're
that?
uprooting yourself, going somewhere else with someone you know nothing about. I mean, no, 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 ladies, you don't go out that way. You're more valuable than that. Okay, yes,
Linda,
Matt, yes.
your actions and your words should match.
Exactly.
And if they don't match,
Why am I
you are
asking?
being misled.
Exactly.
And that goes for any gender. If your
Any
actions
gender.
and words don't match, then
Yeah.
you're being misled. Simple as that.
Yes.
Matt,
Absolutely.
What you say?
Matt,
What you say, Steve?
I am getting text. So let's see what these words say right there. Can y'all read that?
Oh my
And
God.
hey Steve, let them know I love them back.
Uh-oh.
I'm getting text. People start saying, I think I'm in love with Matt. Wow.
Well,
Yeah.
What
one
about
thing
me?
Matt
What
will
about
do.
me?
One word I like that Linda used earlier: honesty.
Yes. You gotta be
If you
honest.
start, if you start anything in honesty, it will end in honesty.
Exactly.
Exactly.
It will end. Truth,
Respect.
Exactly.
Respect.
truth, and honesty. You start with that, it'll end in that.
Yes. Absolutely. So that's how you know, ladies, if a person has not demonstrated you your words and action, and that's when women need to slow down, because only thing what I'm going to say to add to the other question previously was that you are doing too much. If you know you love him, he knows you love him, but you don't know he loves you. That's how
Wow.
you know you're doing too much.
Wow.
Exactly.
Wow. Linda, I told you, let me down easy.
Let them down easy.
I told you earlier, let me
Next
down
time,
easy.
next time Matt is on, I'm going to make sure I have a glass of red wine. Okay.
You better. Hey, let me know. I'll send you what you need. I'll
Okay.
send,
That's my favorite drink, a glass of red wine. And then there's prophecy on top of it.
oh my God.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so listen, it is now 11:07, Stephen.
Hey, you
And
running the show. You
I
running the
honest,
show.
wait a minute. I
I
honestly, I
love
love
you
it.
too.
Okay, thank you, Matt.
I'm telling you, I'm getting these texts. It's funny. So Linda's running the show. Hey Matt, we want to thank you for coming on, man. It's been a great hour, man. We over 8 minutes, but we should have kept
Mhm.
going. But like Pam said, we're gonna do something like this for Super Bowl, and you're gonna be on the board because and Linda, we're gonna have to fly you out.
Okay, I'll be there.
You and
Linda, you
your
will love Super Bowl. I promise you.
yeah,
I,
you'll love
I'm
everything
sure I
about it.
will, because I love football anyway, like my greatest
And
sport.
we love you.
Yeah,
Yes,
and
we
I
do.
love
Yes,
you
we
too.
do. We're gonna have you coming on narrating our board and helping us out. So I want to
Okay.
thank you guys for coming out to Dr. Love
Mary,
Friday.
you're
We
welcome.
love you. We love you.
Yeah.
No, we
Thank
love you.
each of
What
you.
what you
Thank you
gotta
so
say?
much.
What you gotta say, Matt? You gotta say anything before we
Listen,
go?
I just want everybody to know that I appreciate you having me. I appreciate you taking the time to listen to some of the words of encouragement that I've given you. And I want you all to know that I love you just as much as you love me. And I hope to see you again real soon. And if you ever need to just have a word or talk, reach out to the Doctor of Love and let him know. And I will come on the show and answer any question that you have. And now let me ask you, I answer everything in truth. All right. In
What it's
truth,
about.
because I want you to be your best self.
There we go.
Okay. All
Exactly.
right.
That's what it's about.
Much love,
No
baby.
hitting.
Much
All
love.
right.
That's
What
what
do you
it's
have,
about.
Linda? What do you have, Linda?
It same sentiment that Matt just spoke into. That's why we're doing this, and this is certainly why, because I could be doing a lot of things, but I really love helping people become their best self. It's what I do. It's my life, and I enjoy it with a passion. So thank you all for coming out. And again, my information. You want to reach out to me? Certainly do so. That's about
All
it.
right. I want to thank y'all coming out, and we do love you every Friday night from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's
Love you all
California
too.
time. We
Yes.
love you. Hey, Matt, don't hang up because we talk afterward. Deuces, we out of here. See
Love
y'all
you
next
guys.
Friday. All right.
Good night.